in the morning light, I'm chasing dreams, navigating through the office streams. Deadlines looming, emails piling high, wondering if I'm reaching for the sky or just passing by. The world outside, it's a swirling storm, chaos in the streets, a daily norm. But inside my mind, I'm seeking peace, a way to balance, a moment to seize. Careers, chaos, and coaching too. Finding the path, what else can we do? Observing closely, learning as we go. Making decisions, let our wisdom show. Through the storms and the calm, we'll find our way. With every challenge, we'll learn to say, we've got the strength, we've got the grace to face the world and find our place. Upon meetings, voices in my head, strategies and plans, where do they lead instead? I take a breath, step back to see the bigger picture, what's meant to be. Coaching sessions, a guiding light, helping me focus, setting things right. With every word, a new perspective gained. In the game of life, it's not about the pain. Careers, chaos, and coaching too. Finding the path, what else can we do? Observing closely, learning as we go. Making decisions, let our wisdom show. Through the storms and the calm, we'll find our way. With every challenge, we'll learn to say, we've got the strength, we've got the grace to face the world and find our place. Quiet moments, I find my voice. In the chaos, I make my choice to lead with kindness, to act with care, to be the change, to show I'm aware. Careers, chaos, and coaching too. Finding the path, what else can we do? Observing closely, learning as we go. Making decisions, let our wisdom show. Through the storms and the calm, we'll find our way. With every challenge, we'll learn to say, we've got the strength, we've got the grace to face the world and find our place.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to another Careers, Chaos, and Coaching. I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Melissa Houston. I'm Felipe Cofino, and we are excited to be back today with another wonderful topic, an important topic, really, how to deal with crisis and to care and use local resources that make a difference. This is a really important topic that I want to make sure that everyone reaches out to those in their network that you think might benefit from this topic or have friends that need help. People are out there suffering right now because of a lot of the obvious reasons, but we still have friends and family that are silently suffering. And that's something that we want to make sure that we address. But before we get into the topic, I just want to say hello to Meryl and Adrian. Thank you for being here early. And David Pushkin, it's great to see you as always, especially from London. I'm glad it's not in the middle of the night for you. But as always, make sure that you invite your network. Let them know that we're going on live. We'd love to have your network join us. For those that in your network that we don't know, invite them so that we can meet them and have them be part of this wonderful community. Good morning, Nick. It's great to see you. All right, so real quick, I know that it's been a busy 2 weeks. A lot's happened, I feel like, in the past 2 weeks. I don't know if any of you are baseball fans. Houston, I don't know if we ever talked about baseball. We talk about football a lot, but I'm not a Dodgers fan. I'm not a Toronto fan. I know we have a lot of Canadians and a lot of U.S. here. And if any of you watched the World Series last night, the World Series ended in the 11th inning. Now, for those of you that don't know about baseball normally has 9 innings. So it was an amazing last game. If you like any sports at all, even if you didn't like sports, my wife was up until like midnight saying, I don't even like baseball, but I can't stop watching this. So any chance you like any baseball, Houston, or is that not really your cup of tea?
Okay, so little known fact about Melissa Houston is I grew up across the street from a park in one part of my childhood where the Chicago Cubs would practice. So I got to literally sit on my porch and watch Major League Baseballers throw a ball around pretty much
That's
all
so
the time.
cool.
It is kind of cool. I also have to tell you that I served Mark Grace a blizzard when I worked at Dairy Queen at 18. No
Oh,
idea who the guy
damn.
was. He came up and said, "Hey, I want a small Hawaiian blizzard." I remember thinking, "Ew, that's gross," because I like the tropical. It had coconut instead of pineapple. Anyway, um, but as I go to make his thing, everybody starts flocking to the counter. And I'm just looking at the guy and he's looking at me and he knows I have no idea who he is. And I'm like, whatever, Blizzard man. I don't care, right? I'm just having this inner monologue. But my boss is, "Can I get your autograph?" All the cooks and everybody's there. The world stopped. I come up. I was like, "Would you like a spoon or a straw?" And he's like, "Both." And I said, "Okay." And I said, "Who are you?" And he told me. And I was like, "Well, who's Mark Grace?" And he's like, "Oh, I play for the Diamondbacks." And I was like, "Oh, cool." And I was like, "What? Did you just come from doing that?" And he said, "Yeah, we were just practicing." And I was like, "Cool. Do you need a napkin?" And that was the end of it. But I
No, wait.
love baseball because
Did you at least know who the Diamondbacks were?
oh, of course I did. We won the World
Okay.
Series that year
Okay.
against the Yankees, and I blame my blizzard. It was a really good blizzard. I was focused where everybody
So
else was not.
so you weren't one of those people that just says, "Oh, go sports," and they just don't know anything about any
No, no,
sport
no.
at
I
all. Okay.
I
Okay.
love
Good.
all sports in some way because let's be honest, fun and passion is kind of the jam in the stadium. It doesn't matter where you go. Even baseball, when it does get big, it gets big. And in between, I'm passionate about a hot dog. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Well, I gotta say one last thing about baseball is that I had an epiphany when I was like 35. I went to a baseball game. Baltimore Orioles were our team growing up. Yes, the Washington Nationals are a very good team, but they didn't come to DC until like 10, 15 years ago or 20 years ago. But the Baltimore Orioles were our team. And I went to a game when I was 35 and I sat behind home plate. And for those of you who know the Baltimore Orioles, one of the most famous players is Cal Ripken Jr., which is one of is just broken records, great player, just very well known. And when I was sitting behind in my seat, it was really good seats. He came up to bat and his back was to me. And I just started having this memory come back of me when I was 8 years old. I was at a game with my sister and her boyfriend. She took me to my first baseball game. Cal Ripken was just starting, he was a rookie, and he hit his first home run. And I remember thinking, just that memory stuck with me so much. But that's why I love my favorite number was number 8 all my life, was because his number 8 was on the back of his shirt. And that memory was such a profound memory for me that the rest of my life, I love that number. And I didn't realize that until I was 35 years old because I didn't remember that memory. So a little fun fact there. But let's get into, oh, go ahead. What?
Oh, I just gotta say, like, guys, I want to know what your favorite sport is. I know we kind of got off topic. We didn't even say hi and intro ourselves yet. So introduce, like, bring your friends in who don't know us because we're about to do that. But what is your favorite sport? If you had to be drug along, even if you don't like sports, what is the one that you would sit through most happily if you had to? Because I really want to know this about people. Me, I'm a big fan of anything. The Olympics, though, like, if I had to get into something like that, there's certain topics. And so any sport, guys, think about it, right? There's a million sports in the Olympics. There's a million ways you can play. It doesn't have to be just Go Sports Team that we do in America Weekly. But
And in our friend Kenny's defense, tennis is a sport, as is golf.
of
In my
course it
defense.
is. And we are not sport hating. Like there is this long running theme between Kenny and Felipe. Please know if you're not in on the secret, it's a hidden joke that's been running for a decade almost now or something.
Uh,
All right, let's do
so,
this. Felipe,
well,
I'm gonna let you.
no, I was just say, I just wanted to welcome to people who joined the room that we've had. That it's great to see some faces. Top of the morning to you, Mr. Aaron Gibson. I was shouting your praises to a few people yesterday about your talents and how amazing you are. Charles, it's great to see you. Let us know where you. I feel like you are always moving around. So where are you watching from today? And Lauren Sermon, it's always great to see your friend there, Melissa. And I'm glad that she's a baseball fan. And Antonia Prescott, good
Do
to see
you
you.
not
Thank you for
claim
coming.
Lauren also, Felipe? What is that?
Well, I claim Lauren as a friend that I met through you, so I don't want to ever feel like
Okay, I'm just
I
kidding.
I, I
I was just kidding.
I want to give you all
Hi, Lauren. I
you
wanted
all
a
have a
reason
tighter
to say
friendship.
hi.
I don't
That's
need I don't need two Melissas coming at me, okay? So I know Lauren
hey.
Hey, Lauren's tough. She can hold her own. So that's what I'm saying is that I don't need two women coming at me and that are going to treat me like you, my sister Melissa, who
She
we know
wouldn't
you.
like I do.
Oh, if I feel like if I got to as close to Lauren as I am to you, I feel like Lauren would have a lot of fun with me for some reason. I don't know why.
I
I just
would
feel like,
love to see the three of us in DC at the same time and see what
oh, that
shenanigans
would.
we could get into.
I feel like we get into a lot of trouble. All right. Well, listen. So real
Okay.
quick, let's do introductions, and we're going to get into this topic, and we are going to talk about our weekend a little bit. So, Houston, talk about what's going on with you. Introduce yourself, and what did you do for Halloween?
Okay, so I am Melissa Houston, cultivator of dreams, motivator of human capital. Now, really, what that means is I'm a coach who helps people with life, mindset, business, all the good stuff. We do Venn diagrams, get a plan, document it out, and act on it. Go check out the website, documentthenAct.com, to learn more. Take the time, read through it. I also am a co-author with Felipe, and we have, we've collaborated on a few books. I do have to say, though, our publisher just launched another book on Halloween. And so I was at a Halloween party there. I also partied with Aaron Gibson Soul Man Live on Halloween, which was phenomenal. If you didn't check out his Halloween playlist, please go do, because I got some sneak peeks on some of those songs, and I was already knowing the words by the time he played it on Friday, and it was the jam. So check that out. Also, can I just say, this topic for me today is vital. It's important. It is who I am. And so if we are just now meeting each other, I want you to understand that I grew up very much reliant on the welfare system. Everything that I ate on my plate, a good portion of my life, was given to me because of benefits that taxpayers were supporting. And now I don't use those benefits anymore, but I absolutely want to support those who do, because without the support of those who weren't utilizing benefits at the time when I would not have become who I am today. And so we're here to do this. There have been times where I have not been able to pay the bill. There's been a time where I had to tell the light company, I'm sorry, but my rent is due first. Then there were times where the water company got told the same thing about the light bill, right? And so, guys, I have been there. I have been in food lines. I have gone to food banks. I have donated time at those places since. However, we need to show up right now is what we're going to do to show up. And that means if you can give, we'll give. If we need to take, we'll take. And we're going to do it with grace and gratitude, because everybody has been in a place where they received on one hand and gave on the other. And I don't want you to feel less than for needing it. If you want some anonymity, if you don't want to talk about your truth today, that's fine. Come to the DMs. We're still going to help people find resources, but this matters so much to me because there were people at Christmas who showed up with gifts. There were people who, picked our name from under a tree. There were things of that nature that happened, and it wasn't any different back in the 80s for my mom than it feels for some today. I'm hearing the same stories, knowing that is exactly what I watched. So just know this is a long-standing tradition of good and bad and happy and tough times, but we're going to get through it together. And I'm so grateful to have Felipe help, because I know you guys have been focusing on it at work as well, Felipe. And so thank you so much for just being part of this. And I'm just going to tell you guys, go buy Nick's book, go check out the YouTube, go check out my LinkedIn page. If you're not following, please do. And then say hello to my friend Felipe.
Well, thank you, Melissa. And I applaud you for all the amazing work you do. You do so much that people don't even realize that you do in the background. And whether you're dealing with stuff yourself or you're not, you're always still helping people, which I commend you for. Um, and I do want to apologize to anyone that's listening right now if for us being so nice to each other. I know you probably didn't come to this show for us to have this little love fest, so
we'll get it together soon.
Yeah, we promise. All right, but for those of you I've not had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Felipe Cofino, and if you have met me, I'm going to steal this from somebody else. I apologize. And so, but I am the founder of Cofino Consulting. Feel free to follow my LinkedIn homepage there. And if you ever know anybody, or if you yourself need HR coaching, recruiting services, any kind of auditing, or just career coaching, feel free to reach out to me. If you would do me a favor, I would really appreciate it if you would follow me and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's where I'm really trying to house a lot of the stuff that Melissa and I do, but also I do on other shows as well. It's really a chance for me to have one place for people to go to that's easy to find. We love LinkedIn. There's no question about that. That's our main platform. But let's be honest, it's hard to find some content sometimes when you're looking for past things. So that's why we have a playlist on YouTube for careers, chaos, and coaching, and Melissa has one as well. So other than that, I am an HR executive. I'm a LinkedIn top voice, and I have a show with Sumana Jetty and Ashley Flowing called Workplace Wellness Hour, and I do Social Saturday Chat with my Social Saturday Chat buddies, and I also launched recently a Future Ready Voices, where I just wrote an article about a topic around the future of work. So if the future of work resonates with you, if you're an HR professional, if you're a senior leader out there that's really trying to figure out how you're going to lead your team to the future of work with things changing from everything from AI to hybrid working, this is a great opportunity for you to get some insight, get some great takeaways, but also add to the conversation. So, with that being said, let's move on to this wonderful topic that we have today. I say wonderful because we need to talk more about it. It needs to be something that it's important for people to understand that they have help and that people aren't alone. And community is important. I do want to start one thing real quick, though. Melissa, you didn't mention what you dressed up for Halloween real quick. I want to.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, Halloween day, we had this costume contest at work. And I decided to be as comfortable as possible, guys. When I get creative for Halloween, I don't want to be uncomfortable. I want to have the best day ever. So I wanted to wear a floor-length black comfy dress that has pockets. Ladies, you know, it's all about that. So it was an empire waisted dress. And then I had this long, I call it a Snape cape, because if you've ever seen Harry Potter, you know exactly what I mean. It's just this long floor-length black cape that was kind of just a cardigan, but long. And then I had this funny little headband that had bats coming out of it. And it kind of looked like a mobile over the crib. And so I became this punny little costume contest of a Batmobile. And all it was a headband and my most comfortable outfit in the whole universe. And I hope I win. I did submit myself for the contest. But then truthfully, after the shows, I went to bed early. I fell asleep. I think I was snoring by 8:30, guys, and I regret nothing. Sorry, not sorry.
Oh my God, that's too funny. Well, I want to see pictures because I gotta imagine that you look awesome and must be funny too. So definitely share some pictures. For me,
I'm going to drop it in the comments for those who are listening. You can watch for it.
Perfect. And for those of you who know me, I'm not going to tell you the whole story. You all can read my post about what I do for Halloween. I'll just tell you that, yes, we had over 2,000 kids. We didn't hit 2,500. We're just shy of that this year, but we had 2,000 kids and at least 1,000, 1,200 adults. It was a fun event. My kids got involved just to show you a little bit of what it looked like. This is me. I didn't have my black eyes on yet, so I usually have black eyes. But that thing behind me is my son, and he's actually 9 feet tall in that costume, and he was at the bottom of a small hill. But as people walked by, they thought he was fake until he moved, and like crowds formed around him because they thought he was an animatronic. And like I go, he's real. They're like, no, he's not. I'm like, Brady, say something. And he wouldn't say anything at first. And then they're like, you see, he's not real. I'm like, dude, you're making me look bad. You gotta say something now. And he finally said something.
Is that Slender Man?
Sure. I have no idea.
You don't even know?
I don't know what it is. I just know
you need to confirm for me. Can you ask him?
Right.
I think it is.
I will. But this gives you an idea of what the entrance of my house looks like going to the maze that people have to go into. This is the house across the street, just to give you an idea. This is people up the street. You can see the crowd just coming. This is early on. So every house does their own decoration. Some go scary, some go non-scary. This here is me. Oops. That chair behind me is where I sit and I pretend that I am a fake wolf. Like I bend my legs and look weird. And then there's an animated wolf next to me that I just tug on and he lights up and people see that. And then I jump up like I am right there and scare the crap out of them. It's a lot of fun, especially with scaring the adults. And then here right now, you can see me with the fog lights aren't working. And then any of you, for all of you that love dogs, Copper was okay. He liked the skeleton there. He thought that was fine. But also he did not get scared of me. He was fine. And just one last one here to show you my son, how tall he was next to his girlfriend.
He had to have been Slender Man. Guys, I need your vote. I swear that's who that is because it makes sense. It makes sense. There's no other reason to be that tall.
All right.
Or slender.
And I would be remiss if I didn't share this one here. That AI helped me with this one. I had fun with that because I am the wolf. So, all right. So with that.
Okay. So hold on. Did you see my comment before we move on from Halloween? Did you see it on LinkedIn? I need to know if it posted successfully.
I I thought I
I'm
looked at all
scared
the
to open it on
comments.
my laptop to double check my work, guys. So let me know if you see it, because I did go into Canva, throw a little background. I put more effort into the backdrop than I did my headband, but that's cool. It's cool. We're
Wait,
creative.
I want to see.
Also, guys, if you have your Halloween costumes, we would love to see them.
Yeah.
Felipe, I don't know if you know this about Aaron Gibson, but Aaron Gibson is like, his Christmas is Halloween for him. That is his holiday. That is the holiday to rule them all. Um, and
Can I tell you how
so
sad I was that I couldn't even attend his thing because I
you
was doing my
oh,
event?
you need to
I
go back
so
and watch
wanted
the
to.
replay. You really should. It's one of those, and I think you'll pin it because that Halloween sound, that music, you're gonna be like, Aaron, just send me the CD. I need it to play on my porch because it's so funky and so great and so different. It's not just like the same old 10 songs we all jam out to. And yeah, I was jamming. I really was. I'm a big fan, guys. I don't know. He does music that gets me grooving. I
He
just
does.
gotta.
I'll lie if I didn't catch myself actually like jamming a little bit to our intro. I'm like, oh my god, I'm jamming. Like, what the hell am I doing?
I
Like,
was dancing too. And then I don't even want to talk about how much the coffee chat song just gets me going on a bed. Like if I'm feeling low energy, my coffee's wearing off, whatever, I'll just go hit the song. I'm like, wait, no, I'm not. I'm good. Let's go. So
all right,
yeah,
so I
let's do
love your
this.
picture. Your picture's very cute. I want to see the whole outfit though. All right, so let's do this. Let's talk about the topic here. And for you in the chat, please make sure that you feel free to join us up here. We want to make sure that you all feel comfortable. If you're asking for yourself or for a loved one, let us know because we want to make sure that we hear you. And thank you for joining us, Kenny and Marcia and Sharon Rose. We really appreciate you all being here. All right, so
Can
Houston,
can I just add too, guys, if you have successfully cultivated a list of resources that you share, like I know Marcia Lee said she does this and has been doing it, and I know that if you want to come share those resources, please feel free. We are all stronger together. We're not trying to be the end all be all, people on this
absolutely not.
topic at all. This is, how did you get through? What was it? Is it a recipe from grandma that turns noodles into something magical with 8 cents? I don't know. Share it, but let's just get into it, because even you sharing your story of overcoming might empower somebody to know, wow, okay, so they were actually where I am and they can do something different in the future. And so can I. So let's just do this, right? Let's fire up the masses.
All right, I'm going to share some very high level stuff. We're going to hand it to you to share your stuff, and then we can go into more details of specifics here because I know there's a lot of stories out there, and I definitely want to make sure that you all have the resources that you hear are valuable. So, first and foremost, a lot of stuff we're going to share is US specific. I do have some Canada information. Outside of that, I didn't want to share anything that I wasn't really that familiar with, so I wanted to make sure that you all knew that up front. If Houston, if you have international stuff, great, but the four areas that I really think are so relevant right now, obviously, are just general help on like just living, housing, utilities, food, job, medical. That right there. If you use 211 for that, there's a lot of free information there. That it's like almost your free EAP line, and I don't think people understand and realize that enough. Um, because 211, I think people think it's information sometimes. And so it does provide a lot of free, confidential, 24-hour service to help you with housing, utilities, food, job, mental health, and more. So think about it as an EAP. If your work doesn't have an EAP line, 211 is your EAP line, basically. The other one I want to talk about is suicide and crisis line, 988. And I'm going to put all this in the chat, you all. 988 is, oh, by the way, 211 is also for Canada. So 211 for what I just said, for helping with housing and all that, and food and medical. Canada has the exact same thing. So 211 for both. Same with suicide and crisis. Both of them have 988. And if you dial 988, that is when you need that immediate mental health crisis help. And that's if you're silently suffering, if you're even thinking about it, or if you're in deep depression. And it's, if you should, no one should ever feel ashamed, but the reality is that people do, and they don't want to share what they're thinking or what they're going through. But there are people out there that understand and aren't going to shame you, that are professionals, are there to help you through this process, and they have the tools and the resources to be able to help you. And so the worst thing is people thinking that there's no one that can help them, that there's no help at all. There's always help. So 988. The last two, real quickly, is state unemployment, which is state specific, and SNAP food. I wanted to talk about that real quickly because State unemployment, I got to tell you, I've helped a lot of people who unfortunately we had to lay off with their unemployment, and every state's just a little bit different about certain things. So if you're dealing with unemployment, make sure you look at your state specific. Don't just chat GPT general. Make sure you get specific to your state. What are the rules? What are the requirements? What do you need to do? How often? Because they are very, very specific per state. But the SNAP is what I want to talk about. SNAP are basically like the food stamps, the really what a lot, like millions of people in the US rely on this. And I gotta imagine Canada has something similar. They have is it called a provincial rent and utility assistance programs. But the SNAP right now is, many of you heard, canceled as of a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. A lot of states, not all of them, a lot of states are funding their own state funded version of SNAP. So if people out there are worrying and they are not hearing about this, they need to reach out and find out if their state is doing it. I know for a fact that the 3 states in my area, Maryland, DC, and Virginia, all 3 have separate state funds that they are providing for the people that were on this program. It's scary. Food insecurity is horrifically scary for people. We take it for granted. So many of us take it for granted that, oh, we have food in the pantry. Oh, we'll just run out to the store. We'll Uber Eats. There are people who don't even have rice, bread, and peanut butter to make a sandwich or make a meal. And that's food insecurity, not knowing how to put food on the table for your family. So those are the areas I wanted to touch on real quickly because I think it's important. In Canada, they do have employment insurance that is their unemployment basically, and that's the equivalent of our unemployment that I mentioned. So I'm going to stop there because I know that you have more specifics and examples, but I wanted to share some high-level stuff to remind people about those things. I think it's important, and I will put it in the chat while you share your stuff. Over to you, my friend.
I appreciate that. And guys, listen, I did see Meryl ask for the link, Felipe, into the chat if you can. And then also there is a little bit of a lag, guys. So if you're finding yourself like missing conversation pieces, you can always go to YouTube, keep that open, still keep your comments, and just mute the LinkedIn tab, and you'll stay up to date and comment in real time. That said, I love that you shared 211. That is the first resource I ever used at 18. 211, and I wanted to dive into what it means. It's like calling information where you would ask for Sally's phone number, but instead you say, hey, I need help with a bus pass. I can't afford one. Where can I get one? And they will look you up by your zip code. If you're in the United States and Canada, I'm not sure, postal code is what they call it. But they will look at resources specific to you. So they will give you the closest church to your area, the closest, business or nonprofit that's offering those types of services. The same with utilities and everything. It doesn't matter what it is. Did your water heater break down? Call 211. Tell them what happened, and they'll see if there's anything there. And so don't be scared to ask. It's like having somebody live AI. It was AI before AI. It was somebody who would Google on your behalf, because truthfully, when this started for me at 18, Google wasn't really a thing that was functioning at full capacity like it is today. And so keep that in your pocket. Then another thing I would say is AI. Definitely make sure you tell it, I need to focus on resources only in this county, this state, this city, whatever it is. But then go down the list. What would you do if you can't pay your light bill in this county, right? And get creative. But the other thing I would say is a lot of the time when I couldn't make ends meet, I would reach out to my network first. And I know friends and family can't really just pay your bill. I'm not asking for that. But if you can say, hey, I have rice, but I don't have beans. Do you have beans? I can bring you some of my rice. That's a barter system, right? If I think back to pioneer days and really when there was no AC in the house and I needed to cool down, I thought about the first AC ever invented. It was an ice block behind a fan. So you have to get back down to what is a want, what is a need, and what do I absolutely have to survive? And then speak to that. If you need somebody to watch your kids while you apply for a job, ask. If you can't ask friends or family, you can call a local church and say, do you guys have a childcare program? They might donate a space for you. These are vetted individuals already. But you really have to step out of the mindset of there's nothing there. You have to know that even when the world was closing because of COVID, I had record-breaking sales for background screens. And it wasn't because I'm magic. It was because I stopped, I looked around and said, okay, the world's shutting down, but there is 10% of the workforce that's not allowed to take a break. How can I serve that part of the workforce? And so do the same. Some people aren't going to have solutions for you, but there is always somebody willing to help. I think about that Mr. Rogers quote, look for the helpers. And there are helpers. There are new resources that are out there. So make sure you're asking. Other thing real quick, guys, use your social media, not just LinkedIn, but you could say, hey, LinkedIn, I'm about to lose my house. Here's my GoFundMe so I don't get kicked and lose my house, my mortgage, whatever, right? I see it happening and there is success there, not guaranteed. I promise you, if it gets bad enough, though, that would be the first place I would go. Next thing I would do is go to Facebook Buy Nothing groups. These are local groups that have been long in existence where they say, hey, if you need something, let us know. You have a new baby and you can't afford the nursery setup, ask. Does anybody have a baby crib they're no longer using? And you will be shocked at how quickly that $300 bill disappears. And you have something nice that you can utilize. And usually they'll deliver and help set up too. Marcia sent this to me, but the Fresh Farm, where you can use your SNAP benefits to buy produce. And I remember I used to spend $15 and I would get $45 worth of value for that purchase because they were getting it straight from the farmers, cutting out the middlemen. Look for programs like that. Look for groups called gleaners. It's like cleaners with a G. They will go and take fruit off the trees of people's houses. Somebody has an apple tree when they move in. Maybe they hate apples. They give that fruit away and it goes to the gleaners. Couple of quick things before I let it go. And then I want you guys just to remember. Number one, SNAP benefits are for everybody. Most military families qualify for SNAP benefits. So before judgment is placed on who or what struggles are there, just remember most of the SNAP recipients are employed as well. If they're not, they're likely on Social Security benefits or under the age of 18. I just need you to know that I never got to use benefits without also doing the Welfare to Work program. Lots of states require action to get these resources, and there is a cap if you can't act. So before you pass judgment, if you're out there listening as to why anybody would even want to help people who aren't doing the work, it's misinformation, and I would really love to discuss that with you if you'd like to. There's tons of data out there that has been long in existence. Other things to think about, guys. Felipe covered this before, but recipes with ChatGPT, right? If you only have flour and salt and butter, it's amazing what you can do with a bread recipe or whatever. You can get really creative. You have one can of Coke, you could do something with a cake box. Make sure you're remembering that it doesn't have to be a 4-course meal for every dinner. Sometimes bread and a little dip is all they eat in Italy, and you know what? They love it. Things to think about personally for your bills. As for payment plans, don't be scared to tell the companies you can't pay right now. Military families are calling all over and saying, I'm military, I'm not getting paid, and this is what's happening, or we're, whatever it is. I don't know. I haven't looked up the news today. Ask your HR program, and I want to talk to Felipe on this again. Some of those businesses actually have contingency funds for this purpose. They have some kind of program in place where they can help, even if it's just one time. United Way is another company I know that I've donated to out of my paycheck automatically. And then when my family needed assistance, they were there for us because we were part of those members who donated. Think about those you've donated to and see if maybe you can ask for help this time. Again, going back to the church, getting creative, look for those helpers. Felipe, what would you add?
So basically, what I would add, Houston, is well, you mentioned AI, and I want, well, actually, before you get AI, that tip you gave with the ice and the fan. On the opposite side, when it gets cold, if you happen to have electricity and heat, great. If you power goes out and you have a gas stove, this works very well as well. Boil water. Boil water, close the doors in that surrounding area, and the water will keep your house warm. When I lost power for a week and it was during a major snowstorm, I had to think of creative ways, and that actually helped us stay very, very warm. Be forewarned though, if the previous owner of your location used to smoke in the house, you will have yellow streaks coming down from the humidity of boiling the water. A little side note, that was surprising. But on a different note, AI,
That's so gross.
I know it is. AI, real quick. So AI, we talked about how it can help you find resources of who to reach out to. It helps you with figuring out what you can do with the little bit of food that you have. It's so helpful.
Did we lose Felipe? I think we lost
Crap.
Felipe. There you
Did I
are.
lose you all? Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Like, can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, hold on a second.
Felipe broke it. It's okay. Guys, I just hope that these things are resonating with you. You're writing it down. I hope you have your pen. Remember, you can always do team replay on this if you need to, but share it with people you know who are hurting. They don't have to be in the comments to get help from this. Felipe, are you back?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, and of course my headphones aren't working again like last time. But okay, at least you can hear me, so let's go with that. Let me close this. Oh wait. Crap, I think I lost you again. Give me 1 second, sorry.
Meryl says there's also a Gleaners Community Food Bank of Southeastern Michigan and Gleaners Food Bank of Indiana. Christine, so cool. A PR, and then Stacy and Natalie. You guys go find this comment, but go tag those people, right? Because these are the resources. Go follow them. They're going to talk to other friends, even if the organizations you call can't help, right? Because there might be a time where you call the church and they say, I'm sorry, we don't help with that. But the next comment is usually, however, I know this organization that does, and just keep following the bread trails. I know it's not a quick yes all the time. Sometimes you have to be the one calling at a certain time during the week, and you have to be a special caller to get in to get the appointment. I've been there. I remember, but don't give up, because not just one helper is out there. There's a lot, and you just got to keep going. The squeaky wheel. I hate that term. I always hated it when grandma said it, but she had 8 kids and she lived through a lot of times. And she said the squeaky wheel gets oiled or gets greased, right? So just keep going. Felipe, are you back?
I'm back. Okay. So, and that I love that saying as much as you hate it. It's true. If you don't speak up, no one's going to know. All right. So back to my point about AI. So be careful with AI because it's still being worked on by all ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot. They have not perfected it. And what I mean by that is that there was a news story I just saw 2 days ago, and there's a family that has a lawsuit against AI. I forget which one it was, because their child got very obsessed with it to the point where it felt like it was having a relationship with AI. It started having depression issues. When it talked to AI about how it was feeling, what it wanted to do, as we before, AI can be very agreeable. It was so agreeable that the child ended up committing suicide. And when they saw the conversations back and forth, it was talking. The child was talking about taking their own life and ways of doing it. And when I said, "What do you thought? What do you think?" One of the responses was, "These are some great ideas. I think you should try one." And so now put in a lot more investment since that story, apparently, very quickly, to notify parents, to notify suicide prevention professionals, and be able to make people aware when those conversations are happening. So that's really intense, and I apologize if that was triggering for anybody, but I want people to be aware that they have a child, if they have a spouse, they have a friend, a family member that's spending that much time on AI, just check on them. Make sure that they are not relying on AI as their only source of help.
I just want to add to that, guys, it doesn't even have to be AI. Watch what you're feeding your mind and who you're talking to and
Yes,
what they're giving you for advice. I mean, it's a good time to always self-check. And if you're not feeling 100%, ask yourself what you're feeding yourself, right? First thing a doctor does is, well, what's your diet like? Are you hydrating? How's your sleep? Do the same thing and then do it with all of the things you're putting into your mind, body, and soul. TV,
exactly.
movies, music, all of it.
You are what you eat, right? So I have this comment on the screen.
And I'm sweet. Okay, sorry.
So as we introduce our next, our first guest speaker, Marcia Lee, she put this comment in here, and she mentioned one of my favorite people. I want to be him when I grow up. In DC, Jose Andres, is serving lunch Monday through Friday to those in need, especially those that were furloughed. If you're not familiar with this website, World Central Kitchen, this man practices what he preaches. He's the way I always say. If I was rich, I think I'd be a very poor rich man because I would probably end up giving away my money and not have it for myself. He's someone that I think does that and does it so well. He gives as much as he can when people are in need. He's the first one to jump in to play, and to me, he is a true hero. He's a superhero. And so he doesn't just do things in DC, you all. He does things all over the world. So I just want to shout out for that guy. And Marcia, please welcome. It's great to see you. Thank you for joining us. Please share your insight on this important topic. The mic is yours.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all the truth because I love y'all both. I didn't want to wait 41 minutes to talk about what's really important. This is really important. You should have cut it out like the chatter and then just got right into it. This is so important. And I really appreciate y'all doing this because I've been affected by the furloughs. I don't work for the government, but not only am I furloughed for going on 5 weeks, I'm not even getting back pay. But but I have good people in my life and all that. So I'm faring pretty well, Felipe. But Snap was cut off as of November 1st. I actually run my Snap my Snap grant at my job. So I know a lot about Snap and all of that. But we are lucky to be living in the District of Columbia and in the surrounding suburbs because they understand food insecurity, I think, better than anybody in the country because they're really tapping into so many resources. And Melissa, I sent you the flyer, but I want you to read you what the flyer actually said at the bottom. It says, show your federal ID to get $30 in fresh match. I'm happy to send the link, but when I send stuff on LinkedIn, it go through, it don't even get the algorithms and stuff, and I'm kind of annoyed. So I send stuff through my personal socials where I know it's going to get better traction and people could quickly access the resources. But what you got to do in Fresh Farm markets, they have farmers markets all throughout the DMV. They have most of them are shutting down at the end of the month, but they have like 6 of them that stay open year round. So you can go and access, show your ID and get $30 in bucks to shop at the market. I love Fresh Farm; they are the best. It's just a lot in general, and I'm not gonna go into politics, but Thursday DC Parks and Recs did a really phenomenal event. They did sound bath, and then they did yoga. DC, I love my Parks and Rec. Love my Parks and Rec. I love my whole DC. And it's really important. I call it the 3C effect: caring, community, and connecting. That right there. That is what's getting me through this whole situation because I'm outside anyway. But it's more important to be outside. It's more important to check in with your friends and family. Let them know, as Melissa said, let them know. I call it don't have fake pride. And pride is not in your wallet. If you're going through some things, just holler at somebody because you're not alone. And there are people that are willing to help. You just gotta say it, that part. So thank you everybody.
I love that, Marcia. I got to just say, guys, it's a lot easier to help the first month you need help than it is the third month you need help. I remember going to my grandma late. I waited until I had a final cutoff notice and the full amount of the bill was due before I asked for any assistance. Had I asked the first month, it would have been easier for her to have a yes right away. I remember my grandma running around to all of my aunts and uncles to help me gather the money with her name because I really waited too long. That's a lesson I don't want you to learn. Don't wait. Do it the first time where you're like, oh, I don't know how to do it. Somebody might be able to help right then, but just ask right away. Don't be proudful. Thank you for sharing that, Marcia.
And one more thing though, and what I do too, I actually volunteer at a community farm on Sundays where we give out fresh produce, vegetables, healthy meals. And I have friends who have farms in the area. So I'm gonna actually be spending some time with them. They said, oh, just come too. I said, no, I'm gonna come and give you 2 hours. I said, because this work is deep out here. And let's shout out to our farmers. Let's show our farmers some love because baby, farming ain't no joke. Farming is a completely entire different career than the average career. So shout out to my farmers. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Marcia, and I do appreciate and respect everything you say. And you're right; we probably should have started a little bit earlier. And I will say we intentionally started a little bit later. We just probably went too late because we wanted to make sure that people showed up before we started talking about the topic. But you're right; we went a little bit longer. But you're right; DC does so much amazing work, and I got to give you credit for shouting it out because they do know how to do it. And it's, she mentioned a lot of good ones. Capital Area Food Bank is another one in DC. So Others May Eat, called Some. They are dealing with 5 times more requests
for meals than they have in past years. And it's not just from this recent furlough, it's not just from the SNAP benefits, it's also from the original government cuts that were made when the current administration took over. So there's a lot happening, and it's just compounding. And it's when people are already down, they're getting kicked even harder with like these SNAP benefits going away. So I did want to highlight something that Meryl shared here. Where'd it go now? Oh, here it is. Meryl shared that United Way also offers the ALICE program in many areas of the United States. So, again, do research. There is help out there. If you're feeling like there's no help, please reach out to us and we can give you some links. And, Marcia, to your point, if you have a link, I get it. Sometimes the algorithm does not like what we put out there, but tag us, especially if it's related to something like this we just talked about. Tag me, Melissa, at least, and anybody else that you think would be relevant, and let us know about it so that we can help support it. Because honestly, even if only 5 people see it, if one person needed it, I think it was worth it. So keep on doing the great work you do, because I respect that. And Meryl or whoever mentioned it, Chasen Forehand should be here. If you all do not know Chasen Forehand, you need to follow this gentleman. He does amazing work globally. I mean, this man's nonprofit does so much work that I reached out to him last week saying, I don't know where I can help, but I want to help what you're doing because I believe in so much in what he does. So check out Jason Forehand. I'll put his link in the comments there. And the other thing, I wanted to say also is that, all those places that you mentioned, Marcia, people have different resources in your areas. Reach out, find out. Don't assume that they can't help because they're overwhelmed. They might have gotten a lot of support because of what's happening. All right, before we move on to Charles, anything else you wanted to add, Houston?
I want to remind people that we're talking a lot about food and resources, but resources can look like a lot of things. It could look like mowing the lawn for the person who's working 2 jobs because they did find a second income and now they're just so busy they can't do the little things. It could mean baking some cookies or doing like a shepherd's pie or a batch of soup and taking it to the lady next door with a gazillion kids getting in and out of the car. Guys, look around. It could be a small thing. It could be a dry soup mix, right? I follow this creator. She's an Amish lady who left her Amish community and now has a cookbook and whatever. I don't know her name, but she was doing this friendship soup mix, and it's just a little bit of rice, a little bit of beans, a little bit of season. And it doesn't take a lot to give somebody a mason jar full of soup mix that they just add water and they can feed their family. Think about those things, dry goods, whatever, where you can package it, make it cute, maybe a little card. I see you, keep going. It doesn't have to be a gazillion dollars. It doesn't have to be hours, whatever you can give. But if you can donate the time, if you can donate the dollars, if you have a pantry full of food and you're not going to eat 67 cans of peas, and why did you buy them when they were on sale to that degree? Donate it. Right? Like, what do you have that is not being used in your house right now that maybe you could sell and use that to donate or feed your family? Clean out the fridge, dude, like spring cleaning, whatever it is, help the way you can. And it doesn't have to be financial. It could be donating your time for somebody who's looking for a job. Could be just listening. It could be, babysitting. You never know unless you ask them, how can I most successfully help you today? That's my thought. Guys, do you want to join us? Do you have questions? Are you in our DMs asking for help or resources? Are these helping you? Did you find something? Just say, yay, I found something. I don't care if it was like a loaf of bread. Let us know if it's helping. If you found something cool or unique, we would love to know. And if we need to go longer, Felipe, I have a little bit of time. If somebody wants to come on stage, I don't want to, cut them off too early. So guys, don't think that we're going to boot you out.
Yeah, I'm going to put the link in there. Go ahead and introduce Charles. I want to put the link in there for everyone again.
Hey, Charles, where the heck are you today? We haven't seen you in a while, but we're so glad you're here, party. What's going on?
Good morning. Just wanted to share a few things. One, thank you both for having this program this morning. Obviously, things like SNAP should be operational. It's a travesty that it's not currently, but then also, and that nonprofits have great resources, but then also wanted to point out that, as the saying goes, charity starts at home, and we can help each other. Where if we know our neighbor is struggling, then we can say, "Hey, I've got a loaf of bread. Would you like half of my loaf?" Or I've got an extra bedroom. Would you like to move in? Are these extreme? In a way, they probably are, and certainly asking someone to move in would be interesting, but we can help each other. And then also on social media, we can use it where on Facebook, I know there's different community groups where if, if you're looking for housing, food, to learn Spanish, Italian, whatever, there are groups you can join to help you with those.
Absolutely. Guys, write the names down. Buy Nothing group is something that I think about, but look to your community. You can Google community associations near me, community events near me. Go to your librarian. You would be shocked how resourceful that lady might be or that gentleman might be when you get in there and just ask people, what do you know? Talk to the people who are at the city. You can call the police department and say, hey, I'm really hungry and I'm not sure where I can get resources for food. Your police department will help you find those resources. There is no wrong answer. Don't call 911, please. Use the non-emergency line. If you need help finding it, ask. But really just the squeaky wheel. Felipe, I really hate that. We got to find another way to do it. How do we do this without it being a squeaky wheel?
It's too effective, Houston. I'm sorry.
No. Come on. We're creative. Don't just opt out.
Hey,
what do we got? Come on.
If it's not fixed, don't break it. Come on. Look, the
if
reality is
it's
that
not fixed, don't break it. What?
Yeah, it's like act your age, not your
If
shit.
it's not broken, don't fix it. You said it. Okay.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Is that what you want me to say?
Well, that's the right thing. I don't know what you said before. Anyway, guys.
Okay.
Smart. Can I just say, Felipe, I want to ask you a question. It's been in the back of my mind, and I want you guys to think
boy.
like this.
Get ready. Here go. The niceties have gone away, y'all. Get ready.
No. This is actually, we're going to get a little bit into like family stuff. All right. Tell me the least expensive meal with the best memory. Because the other thing I wanted to touch on before the show is over, and I don't know how long we're going, guys. We're here. I'm looking at my DMs, making sure, and Marcia sent me some more resources. I'll make sure they're dropped if she didn't. But one of my favorite memories was when I made a Native American fry bread. I had a recipe for it, and we had some powdered sugar in the pantry already. And so I just covered it in powdered sugar when it came out of the oil. And we sat and we ate fry bread, and we just had like family time. And I don't know what we were doing beyond that, because all I can see is that fry bread in my mind's eye, and I can feel the warm fuzzies of the whole family smiling. But it maybe cost $3 total to do it all for 6 people, and we had leftovers to the point the next morning they just warmed it up in the microwave, which I thought was weird. But what is your memory? Something like that, because guys, I want you to remember it doesn't take a lot to make a memory. It really doesn't. It doesn't have to be filet mignon or steaks on the grill. It can be something simple. So what is your simple memory that was not very expensive, but it comes to mind?
Lobster, foie gras, and caviar. No, I'm kidding. Sorry.
Sushi.
No.
I just want to elbow you right now.
I know.
Brother.
No. My favorite is memory was my kids and I don't know. I think my wife was either out of town or she was working late. And it was one of those just difficult. It was early on in our marriage where we didn't have a lot of money. And the kids were like, we were hungry. And they thought I couldn't cook, so they were not excited about it. And so I pulled out ramen noodles and 1 avocado. And I cut up the avocado, put some oil and vinegar and salt and pepper on it, made some ramen noodles, and spiced it up with a little bit of Old Bay seasoning. If any of you know what Old Bay seasoning is, it's for seafood, very well known in Maryland for crabs. And we had so much fun. They thought it was like the best meal. And to this day, they still love ramen. And I do too. And it's one of those things where we're not even going to like the store to get the bougie ramen. Like we're still buying like the 50-cent pack and making that ramen. Like I have some in my cabinet right now. And it part of it is nostalgia and just the memory. If you want another example, um, beer. um, a lot of people don't like beer. Some people like beer. I'm like I like plain like light beer, like Bud Light, Miller Light. But growing up, we didn't have money, and as kids, it was illegal to drink, so we couldn't really buy it easily. So we had older brothers that would go buy it for us, and we would drink Milwaukee's Best because you could buy a case of it for $5. Any of you that have ever tasted Milwaukee's Best, it makes Coors Light taste like champagne. Okay, it's just
The best way to say this is if you've tasted Milwaukee's Best, you avoided Wisconsin.
And now here's the thing, though. If I had a Milwaukee's Best and say a Coors Light, I don't like Coors Light. I would drink the Milwaukee's Best in a heartbeat because the nostalgia of those memories of my friends growing up, sitting on the hill of Holy Redeemer, and just having conversations, having fun. They were just some of the best childhood memories I had. And I know it sounds bad saying childhood and alcohol at the same time, but we were like 15, 16. So, all right. Well,
okay. Well, before we move on, I actually want to say ramen is a staple in my house to this day because it does have core childhood memories. But I will also say it's because if you take, and I always describe my ramen in colors. So blue ramen, couple packs, dice up an onion. I like the sweet ones and I chunk them up like I would see in like chow mein at a restaurant. And I do the same with the cabbage and then I saute it and then I make the ramen and the sauteed veggies separate, but then I mix it all together at the end and it's a very inexpensive way to make.
Wait. Did you say the blue pack? No, it's the red pack. Oh, God,
blue,
no.
bro. Blue. Blue.
Oh, no.
Blue.
It's got the red. Beef.
Blue.
Red all the way.
Listen. I need to vote. We need to poll the audience. Are you a ramen eater? And if you are, just drop the color. Just drop the color. We don't even need to know. Like nobody who's not watching the show will know what we're talking about. So just drop the color.
They know that red's the best.
And we'll see. But honestly, I will say there was a vote for you because there are people in my home who would prefer to do one red, one blue. And they said that makes it taste more authentic. And you know what? I got to be honest. It did taste a lot like the restaurant. It wasn't what I wanted, but it did. So guys, we're talking here. If you have a family of 6 like I did, it was a 99-cent head of cabbage. It was a max of $1 of an onion. And that's if I got the biggest one I could find. And then we're talking maybe $2 worth of ramen noodles if you're really trying to make, a ton. That's 8 packs or so at 25 cents a pack. That is $3, right? $3-4 you're talking. Oh, look, here they come. Here comes the comments. They have caught up.
No.
I see the first blue one.
So if I can chime in for just a second, I'm about to head off to church, but if we're honest with each other, with ourselves and each other, every single one of us needs help in some way and to some degree. And if we can just get over ourselves, get over stigma, and just be honest with ourselves and each other and help each other, we'd have a much better world. Thank you, and God bless on your Sunday. I'm off to church.
Well said. God bless you too, Charles, and thank you for
Have
saying
a good one, Charles.
Because I do think people, look, the reality is, unless you are like a murderer, criminal, like some horrible human being, there's no shame in saying that you'd help. I say that because if you're
even if you are any of those others, please seek help. Also, I'm just going to say.
Oh no, they need help. I'm saying, but if a child molester came to me for help, I'm like, there's resources out there. Go. There's some resources. Go check out. I don't know if I personally
that's still help. And guys, I want to hold on because this is sticky right here. But let's be clear: you're still helping in your own way, and the way you help is up to you to define, guys. And nobody's going to judge you for what you're comfortable or not. I would never force you to go feed the homeless if you're not comfortable. If you would prefer to drop the check and not be in the middle of the city doing it like Martha does, that's okay, right? But Help who moves you. Fun and passion are what we're talking about. Be passionate about what moves you. Maybe it's your neighbor. Maybe it's somebody you don't know. Maybe you just don't even want anybody to know you donated and it's anonymous to whatever moves you, right? That's okay. It could be to the library to get people who are leaders to be more focused or read books. Whatever you believe in, put some time and energy behind it for sure.
No means am I saying that anyone that's ever committed a crime shouldn't get. That's not. I was talking about if you heard me say mass murderers. I'm not talking about like the real like bad people. So, but Marcia, I just wanted to check in on you and see if you had any questions before Melissa gloats about all the blue comments.
No, I want to know her vote too, and also if she has a recipe she uses. Same question.
Oh yeah. She may have stepped away. Marcia, are you there? All right. Well, while we wait for Marcia, we do have another guest who actually has some information for us around the work that Jason's doing. And here's our publisher, Melissa.
Nick!
Nick. Hi, Nick.
Hello. Oh, I have my camera on for you.
I love your keyboard. Look, she's all about the business, guys.
Oh,
she
goodness
can't even put
gracious.
herself on camera because she's about business.
Don't mind me.
I still need to get with you about my password reset. I'll get with you today, probably.
I literally was making pepper sauce with Scotch bonnets, so I can't smell anything right now. All I'm doing is sneezing, but I'm listening to you guys, and I thank you so much for this chance to come up for a minute. So I know some of you know who Jason Forhan is. He's the founder of HR for You, a nonprofit that's uplifting lives through training people to help them to have jobs earning a living wage. We're beyond that right now with everything that's going on with food insecurity. And I am an advisory board member and have been friends with Jason for a few years now. I was very blessed to meet him and his wife twice this year. So a couple of Jason's friends, Jason and myself, have gotten together to work on a transformation kitchen cookbook that we want to publish March 1st. In time for the second annual Cooking Up Change fundraiser event in New York City on March 28th. The sales from these books are going to go toward the Transformation Kitchen program, which basically takes in 60 people each year and trains them. And the food that they produce in these kitchens goes back towards feeding the community. So, we believe that we flip more than just eggs, we flip lives. This is about teaching a man to fish. But again, we're at a point in time now where it's not just about teaching, it's about feeding. And so I don't have to tell you this project is near and dear to my heart. I have volunteered my publishing services, my time, my energy to do all of the publishing and the promotional work. I've gotten very heavily involved in the administrative part of things. I have put together all the sponsorship packages and everything else like that. So I'm not coming to ask for sponsorship. I know things are hard for everyone. I am coming to ask if anybody loves cooking. This is a great opportunity for you to donate one of your recipes. There's no cost to donate. We just need.
Oh, I'm in. I see Chasen also. I'm in, Chasen. In your
Thank
face,
you
I'm
so
coming.
much.
You already know.
I know
I'm
I'm
in
shaking right
too.
now, but
Oh, I could have a lot of recipes. How many do you want? Do you know that I feed 100 bikers on a very small budget, like just
I know.
very small? And so I could do this.
Wait, he said I got videos of my recipes. Do you have that?
Guys,
Bro, I have hundreds of people calling the store going, can I get that? Like, what's on the menu tonight? Are we coming to Bike Night? I don't know.
We're both in, Nicole. Sorry, keep on talking. Go ahead.
Okay, wait. I'm sorry. It's just that I'm shaking right now because night before somebody reached out and left a voice message. I don't know this person. And she just said that I heard you talking on a live and I can't do the full sponsorship, but I'd like to donate. And she immediately made a $100 donation. And then I'm sorry. Another lady reached out because I'm part of the Outliers with the guys, and she wanted to sponsor, and she did the $500 sponsorship. I just got the email. It's a 12-week media tour from January 1st to March 31st. We're looking for 10 sponsors. The company's logo and name will be on the back cover of the book. They will get a ticket to attend the fundraiser next year. Jason will personally hand them a copy of the cookbook signed by him, so of course they can get pictures for their social media. Those who know me in the audience know when I promote, I'm like a mad woman with the promotion. So I just want you to know this means a lot. You guys giving me a few minutes to come up here and ask this. You can email me, DM me. I will send you the link to submit your recipe. You do have to sign a released form, of course, for legal reasons. A picture of your completed meal, your ingredients list, and your prep list. And even though this is double the amount of pictures and doubling the cost of formatting, we are going to put a little profile picture of yourself and like a 3-line bio so people could see who donated this recipe. And by God, thank you so much. Sorry.
Do not apologize. Wait, wasn't that a rule on your show? No
Where
apologies.
did we hear that?
I know,
Yeah,
Like,
it's
there's
just
no
that.
apologies allowed. What?
exactly.
Listen, guys, you would not believe this. It's really cold in my house. It's like 61, and I have to order oil. And we haven't because the last time we did, they put the oil in a tank in the ground that's from 100 years ago, and we didn't know. And we were arguing they didn't give us oil. I have my oven open on 400 degrees. I'm standing in front of it right now while I'm telling you guys this, and you just gave me so much warmth. So thank you for giving me these few minutes to say this. Thank you.
Thank you
Nick,
for
we're
being.
gonna have to talk, dude, because we're in. Like Felipe and I mean, truthfully, look at just the culture, guys. Look at your culture. I stole from somebody else's when I shared the fry bread, but rice and beans are a staple in how many cultures and different ways to prepare them, right? If I ask Nick for her homemade recipe for a bean and rice recipe, it's going to taste different than Felipe's. Having both in a book means that two very inexpensive staples, $1 per bag, $2 per bag, they can feed their family 2 different ways minimum. And so if we're just all pitching in grandma's favorite soup recipe, rice recipe, beans, chili, it doesn't matter. It could be 57 ways to make chili, 57 different recipes for kids to complain about. Right.
Well, yeah, I
But
know, right? So this is
well,
where I'm jumping in. We want to get 120 recipes. We know we may not get that. If we get 75, we're happy. I do know that if we have double and triple of recipes, we are going to not knock them out. That's not what I'm saying at all. But obviously, we're going to get as many recipes as we possibly can get in that are not the same recipes. But you are absolutely right. Culturally, think about it. I'm from Trinidad and my husband's from Mexico. Trust me, my rice and beans are way different than his rice and beans. And it's funny because he'd be like, well, what's for dinner tonight? I'm like, hello. Oh, rice and beans? Yes, Trini style. So, like, I completely get that too.
so,
Well,
and oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, I definitely think that there's a lot of opportunity for people. I just want to say I'm calling empanadas because Jason says I have to do it with my mother. So if I'm gonna cook with my mother, we're gonna make empanadas again. But I think that's the cultural part you make is how people make dishes differently is so valid. And I do want to shout out Jason, who's in the audience right now. He wants to learn how he can help with the bikers, Melissa.
Oh, I
And
know. And I got to tell you, Chasen, this is actually an event my corporation pays for. So it's already sponsored, it's already taken care of. It's a celebration event we do for our community where I cook from scratch. Every store gets to do it their own way. But so they're taken care of. And I love that you wanted to help. But I want to help you guys because I really do take a minute budget and feed so many. And we have all the fixings and it's great. But that's really the kind of vibe that we're seeing, right, Felipe? Nick, we've been doing this together, giving back, helping each other, pulling each other forward as a group collectively for how long now, right?
Yes, I love you guys so much. And you know that this first year in business, guys, I'm about to start month 10 on November 6th, and my anniversary is November 4th. And I was just telling my husband yesterday that I needed to be where I am right now and doing what I'm doing with my life at this very moment. This is where I need to be. And things like this make me realize just how fortunate I am to be able to make this move. So, oh, okay. Sorry. I'm gonna go
No,
off
no,
stage
stop,
now.
She
stop
said sorry
apologizing
again.
already.
I'm
So
going to go off stage now and give you guys back your show that I hijacked, and just
I'll
thank
stop
you
it.
to
Stop.
everybody and the audience. And it's so easy to think one person that you can't make that change, right? And these are the moments that you realize that just, yeah,
Well, Nick,
you
before you
can.
go, do me a favor. Please put the link of where people can go to learn more information about in the chat
Yes.
right now, so you don't forget, and people can look at it right away. Because I want people to check out all the great work that Jason's doing. This is not any small feat that he's taken on, and if you look at his history and the work he's done in Nicaragua and other countries, it's just phenomenal. It's absolutely
Oh,
phenomenal. So please check it out. Nick, please don't forget to put the links in there because that's really, I think, is
no.
important.
I'll put in
And
right now, and it's not just Nicaragua. That first transmission case that got built there, the other one is about to go up
exactly.
right now, right here in the United States. Okay,
So,
bye.
okay, bye. So
All
if
right.
you
So can I just do a challenge real quick? I know
okay,
Nick's gone, and don't let her come back because she's going to try.
before you do the challenge, I want to talk about something real quick. And first of all, I want to check with Marcia before we move her backstage. Are you there, Marcia? I just want to give you a chance to share any questions or insight you wanted to share. All right, I'm going to.
Okay, my challenge is tied to Chasen though, so
Well,
I
wait,
don't want to
hold
go
on.
too
I'm not
far.
done yet. Hold on.
Okay.
So one thing about the food thing, I again, people think that food, I'm not, big into cooking. Listen, whether you have a recipe that's been passed down, whether you know how to cook it or not, if it's a good recipe, keep that in mind because food brings people together. Whether you like to cook it, you like to eat it. Some people like to watch people cook. I don't understand half my family that watches cooking shows all the time, but they love it. Ironically, I make cooking videos at my work. It brought our employees together. I have an entire video cookbook of 2 years of videos. Every month we did a video of different employees sharing different recipes that they grew up with or from their culture or their country. And it brought people together and it also taught people how to cook different styles and use foods differently. So when you share your style, your information, you might not think it's anything special because you grew up with it, but it might mean something to somebody else too. So don't forget that. All right, Houston, what's your challenge?
Okay, well, first take that comment off the screen because we don't need to help the bikers. Secondly, um, we are.
Hey, bikers are people too. My son just
Hey,
bought his
don't
motorcycle.
yell at me
My son
about
just bought his.
bikers. Don't.
For all you parents.
Let's. Can we please stay focused for this
Okay,
moment?
yes, go.
Thank you. Okay, so my challenge to you guys is this. Nick knows that when we were doing collaboration books, I got excited and I went and I told all of my friends that there was an opportunity for them to become a published co-author. And guys, this is that call to action moment right now. I challenge you to tell your friends that they have the opportunity to be published for free in a collaboration book, one that gives back, just like Felipe and I did. We gave back with our journeys, our stories in 2 different opportunities with Nick. And I can tell you, when I told my friends there was an opportunity for them to join, they jumped in. When they said there's no fee for this, this is an opportunity for anybody who's ever been your favorite, potluck friend. You call Becky and say, Becky with the brownies, this is your moment, lady. You've got to get published. You've got to get your recipe out there. How cool would it be to hand this to your family this year with your brownie recipe in the book? So then later, when you're not there, your brownies still are. This is that free moment to capture your legacy, the stuff we wrote about, the stuff in the books, the stuff you've been following us for. This is it. This is your chance, that M&M moment, the one opportunity that you've got to do it with 0 investment beyond time. So if you're looking for something because maybe it's heavy this year, maybe you're not having a ton of stuff that feels positive or you don't have a lot to give back, you already built the recipe. You've already built the friendships that brought you into the room where it's happening. You've already created this opportunity by showing up before you ran out of the battery level. Like the juice, you already sent the email. When you charge your battery, the email is in the return, right? They've responded. This is it. This is the response. This is the seed. This is everything you've been growing. And all you got to do is say, sure, I'll cook dinner Friday and take a picture and share it. That's my challenge to you, is tell all of your friends this is their opportunity to seize the moment, to document and act. That's my challenge. Felipe, what do you think? How many of your friends you just talked about on your YouTube are you going to email and say, hey, do you want to share your recipe with my publisher?
No, and I think that's the thing is that, people don't realize that they can get published. They don't realize that they can contribute. I think it's a great opportunity to help people out. And that's the thing that there's so many people out there willing to help. And I keep on saying it, but I'm going to keep on repeating it. Do not feel like you're alone, whether you need help because of food insecurity, because of depression, because of job loss. There are resources out there. It may not be the perfect resource. There is no perfect resource, but there is help. And I just don't want anyone, if you know anyone or if you're feeling like there's no hope, there's always hope. And I don't want people to feel like they're hopeless. So please, if you don't hear anything else, remember that reach out. Just reach out to family, friends, anonymous resources, whatever it takes. I'm going to put the links to those phone numbers again for suicide prevention, for SNAP benefit relief in your states, unemployment, and make sure that people remember that 211 number is that resource number for you to help you with whatever you need. Their fingers will do all the walking for you. That might have been a very old analogy I just gave, so I apologize.
I heard a song. I shouldn't have heard a song, but I'm right there, I guess.
Yeah, that was the old telephone book that we don't have anymore now. We used to have telephone books that find phone numbers, y'all, and there was a little commercial about let your fingers do the walking to look up a number. But anyways, I digress. There is a lot of resources, so just make sure that you understand that 211 number is confidential, anonymous, and if you're familiar with the employee assistance programs that employers have, it basically is that, but you don't have to go through your employer, even though the employer ones are still confidential. So, all right. Well, listen, we have some people that joined it. Again, Nick and Jason are in the chat. It's great to see Christy Williams. Thanks for joining us. Sadana, thank you for coming live. And who else I see sneak in here? I feel like I saw someone else sneak in here earlier. Who was it? It was right before Chase.
It was Sharon Rose Winfield.
Sharon, and then Sean too. Sean Highland. All right. So any other questions you all have? Anyone else who wants to come up? Otherwise, we're going to start wrapping up for this week's show. And again, I'll put those numbers in there. But if you have resources in your state or for your area, go ahead and add them in there. Especially if it's a resource that you think has been credible or has helped people or maybe it's helped you. Again, a lot of people are suffering silently and they just forget to ask for help. But Houston, I know that you've helped a lot of people. You've gone through your own struggles. Any other last words that you wanted to share as far as how people might be able to get some help?
Yeah, I want to just go back to Marcia Lee's resources first. That Fresh Farm, they are giving $30 in free fresh produce. So go check them out. It is a DC partner location, so that is specific to the DC area. But go Google Fresh Farm. Look for resources close to that in your area. Look for fresh fruits with cleaners, the United Way. Another thing that Marcia Lee shared was findhelp.org. And so don't be scared, guys. ChatGPT is something we've talked about for your resume. You could do it for your recipes. Felipe's covered that with his wife. They've done that. But you can also do it for resources. Utility bill help. I can't pay my rent. Where can I go? Can you help me? This is my zip code. It was something that I really started on. If you really want to know my journey and where it began, it was me learning how to not go through the front door. I couldn't just pay the guy. I had to get somebody to help me pay the guy, right? It was, can you help me with my utility bill? Because I lived on $247 a month in benefits. I need you to understand that was the cash allowance for a person with a child. If you've paid your utility bill and phone bill this month, you've probably depleted what my budget was at 18 with a minor. We had comparable benefits for food. I learned how to stretch and how to food prep and make something one time, freeze it, and have it for the next couple of meals later in the month. When I didn't want to eat enchiladas 3 days in a row, I could do it, on Fridays. We had a plan. You guys got to get resourceful. You have to ask for help. I never struggled alone. I would tell people I was hungry. I would tell people I didn't know what to cook. And my grandma would go, well, what's in your cupboard? She couldn't come bring me groceries, but she sure told me about the value of rice and beans and a roux, something, a little flour and fat that would thicken up any soup or gravy or whatever it was. So just get creative, get resourceful, have the conversations, watch the cooking shows. I have to laugh at you a little bit, brother, and I'm going to pick on you as we leave, but you said you don't understand people watch cooking shows and then admitted you have one. So are you making fun of your audience? Do you not understand your audience? Is it a coaching issue? Where are we at, buddy?
No, it's because it's because I understand the audience that I did a cooking show. I just would never personally watch them. Like my wife, my mother, my sister, my brother will watch them, and I can see probably the attraction if I enjoyed cooking more. I'm like the things I cook really well, I can count on two hands, so I'm not, that's not my passion. And I leave that to the people who love it and do it better than I do. So
no, I'm just kidding. But
no,
truthfully, guys,
it's a valid
there's so
question
much
because
value.
it is kind of ironic that I don't like cooking shows, and here I am doing a whole video cookbook of cooking. But it's because I think, to everyone's point, just because you don't like it doesn't mean other people don't like it. Everyone's got some different tastes, and you might be good at sharing something about something that you don't like, and that's okay if it's talking to your audience or if it's helping people. Do I love cleaning? No, but why do a park cleanup? Hell yeah, absolutely, in a heartbeat. I've always found those to be rewarding, helpful, and I think it's great. But it's just an example, so everyone's different. And you didn't get me riled up, Houston. Sorry.
Well, listen, and Jason, please go back and watch this. I mean, Merrill just said it in his honest opinion today has been one of the most impactful ever. I really hope that's true. I hope you guys found the resources you needed. Our DMs are always open. If not, though, if you find yourself in a month from now going, oh my gosh, I wish I would have had the show now because now I need that help. In a month from now, we're still going to remember what resources we've recommended today or who showed up, who's going to be available. But guys, the biggest thing is don't give up. If I can leave anybody with anything, I have faced the ugliest times of my life, and it hasn't been so distant. I'll be honest. The last 60 days or so have been really chaotic in my world, and I'm not ready to really dive into all of the transitions in public yet, but there's been a lot. And I'm also looking and assessing and refocusing and playing a turtle and just kind of hiding in the shell until I figure it out. Doesn't mean it's wrong. And so if you need to take a break from social media because you don't feel so good when you're here, do it. Maybe get one or two friends' phone numbers and make sure you stay in contact with people who will know you're okay. And that's really important too. But you're allowed to set boundaries. You're allowed to figure out what you need. And if it's to go stand in the food bank instead of being at a live LinkedIn event, fine. If you want to do both, that's really cool too. Use the Notes app on your phone like Felipe would to save the next resource for tomorrow, right? It's okay to ask for more help than just one too. If you go to one food bank on Tuesday, but there's one available on Friday, don't hesitate to go. You're still going to need to eat on Friday, and it's still insecurity. If you're questioning whether you should go or not, just go, right? If you're not sure about what Monday looks like, be there on Friday. Because at this point, and Felipe works in a nonprofit, and I won't speak for him, but I'd love to have him speak to it. We're not sure what comes tomorrow. Everything we've ever been reliant on, in my opinion, my side of things, I can't even forecast business the way I used to. Ford Motor Company refused to forecast business because they couldn't. There are labor reports that I used to rely on to see trends I'm not seeing anymore. They're not going to be available. This is a big question mark time. It feels very uncertain, but what I do know in uncertain times is myself. The one thing I can always rely on is my ability to get resourceful, ask for help, and figure out a way. Have the yard sales. Get on your local market groups, talk to your neighbors, talk about taking turns with babysitting to have, shared services, split it up with military families. The other families are going through the same thing. Work together, because that's how it worked in the Great Depression. It's how it worked in the 80s. People had to rely on each other. Economic times come and go. good and bad. It's a roller coaster all the time for different people at different times. Figure out the way through, but do it the way you need to for you. And nobody can define that. Not Felipe for me or me for him. Even though we're very good friends, we have to figure it out for ourselves. And there's no wrong answer. If you are able to see tomorrow, I'm proud of you and well done. Just don't hurt anybody in the process if you can, right, Felipe?
Yeah, if you have that crystal ball, can I borrow it? Because I'd love to use it.
I have it for a prop for Halloween. Sometimes I get a good gut instinct feeling, but beyond that, no, sir. No go.
I have a little magnetic thing. Okay, this is just a stupid story, but it's one of those things where you pull the ball back and it swings, and wherever the ball lands on the magnet, it's like the answer to your question. So you can say, "Oh, am I going to win $1 million tomorrow?" And it will land. Day, and I said, "Hey, have you given any more thoughts to that request about an increase?" He pulls the ball back, lets it spin. Should I give Felipe? And it lands on yes, and he said yes. He's the kind of CEO that if it landed on no, he would have said no. That's kind of messed up. So that's a random story. I don't know why I went there, but
please don't be that leader, guys.
Yeah, please don't. Hey, going back to the food bank thing, I want to let people know also, the majority of the food banks out there, they understand that it's a difficult thing to come and get food sometimes, and that you have to swallow a little bit of your pride a little bit to be able to do that because you never had to do it before, maybe, and it's an understandable feeling. Most of these places have it as a drive-through where you don't need to get out of your car. That may not seem a big thing to a lot of people, but for others, especially introverted people, it might be that blessing that makes them feel a little bit more at ease going to get food. They will literally hand it to you in the car and you keep on driving. So I wanted to share that out there as well. Also, I feel like we always share an AI tip of every 2 weeks. And the one I wanted to share today is we always talk about how useful it is. I want to remind people, besides just going there and typing into ChatGPT, for example, and saying, where are there food banks services for people who just got laid off, furloughed, whatever the case may be. You got medical bills in my area. Be specific, within a 25-mile radius or accessible by the bus or subway. Same thing with jobs. I've been testing this out and it's working very well. Where if I said, I'm looking for a job in this area from this title to this title and looking for remote jobs or hybrid and in person in this specific area. And it pops up, gave me 5 jobs right now in my specific area with those specific requirements and gave me the links of Indeed, Glassdoor, and incredible places. And I just want to give you a little bit easier tool to help you find it because sometimes we don't know where to look. And this tool, ChatGPT or AI, is helping us fine tune our searches so we have more time to work on things that we need to work on. I hope that's fun. You find that valuable. I hope anything that you found valuable. Thank you to everyone who's putting the links in the comments, by the way. Jason.
And Felipe, can I just add to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
You guys, also, you can give it a time frame, posted within the last 7 days. So that way it's getting the freshest jobs for you. Just to give it that time frame. Yeah.
That's a great idea. But thank you to Jason, Nick, Caroline, Marcia, and everyone else has been putting links in here. This is what we're talking about. This is a community thing. I want you to remember that there's links in here to go back to share with your friends, family, for yourself, whoever needs it. But a lot of it sometimes is just someone being able to share the information because they noticed that they weren't doing well. And maybe they confided in you. If someone confides in you, see how they feel about receiving help. And maybe it's not directly, direct conversation. Maybe it's more subtle, saying, hey, I found this link that people really found beneficial that got laid off from the government or whatever the reason was. And just let them know. You don't need to make it all about them and saying, oh, I know you're struggling and you're having a hard time. People don't like when people feel sorry for them. So remember, you're lifting them up. You're not pushing them down. All right. This has been really intense conversation in a good way, and I'm so glad we're doing this. Unfortunately, we'll probably need to do it again. And I say unfortunately because I wish we didn't have to. I wish that this was a topic that we didn't need to keep on talking about, but the reality is we do. And I shout out to all those people that are doing great work. Houston?
I want to challenge our next topic to be budgeting. I know that you have a banking background and I know that the holidays are coming, but I also wanted to do a quick reminder, guys. The way the holidays are lining up for me this year in retail, it seems to be coming so fast, just so fast in the way it's rolling out. And so just remember, we're only a few Fridays away from Christmas. I hate that you're going to hate me for saying that probably, but if you're going to need resources for your family for Christmas, if you think that the tree is probably going to look a little thin this year, if you already know your budget is not going to work, you should apply for that assistance now. Usually, Christmas help starts in November, sign up, and is closed by December. If you need those resources, you need to be proactive today because they don't do signups December 15th for Christmas help. They give those helpers that want to donate and shop and have time to get it, time to put it in the nonprofit, time for them to allocate it to the right age groups and families based on there's a lot of back work that goes into it, and it takes a little bit of time to get the traction rolling. So if you need that help, please don't wait. Please, because it's going to be important. Also, if you guys need help with Christmas ideas, we want to help with that too. I do a quick thing I want to put into your head right now.
Shopping for everyone on LinkedIn again. That took us like 4 weeks. That was way too hard.
For what?
Shopping for everyone on LinkedIn.
I know. No. But listen, guys, something you want, something you need, something you'll wear, and something you'll read. Those are 4 simple, very thoughtful gifts. If your kids need new shoes, it covers one of those things, right? If your kids love a book or it'll give them something to dive into that isn't tech, and we all need that break. But something you want, something you need beyond that is really helpful too. Maybe they get the shoes and the new pair of jeans. But maybe use that as an outline this year. Teach the feeling of what it means to gather, right? That's the focus. If I could just recommend anything, gather. Gather is the word of the day because that's what's going to really get you through. I don't remember the presents. There might be 1 or 2 that pop out in my brain, but I don't remember every present under the tree from every year at all. I know they were there, but I remember the food. I remember the laughter. I remember the way my mom looked by the Christmas tree. I remember those things. And so remember that. Go back to your childhood. What do you remember? Replicate the feeling, not the gifts. That's my thought.
I love that concept. I love the topic of budgeting. When you're talking about reading, I did share my book. If you want to share a book for people to read, not too expensive, affordable. So, who Nick did help me publish as well. But I think what you said was really important, and I think that budgeting is so valuable. I mean, look, I'd be lying if I didn't say that I didn't budget for Halloween. Obviously, I have a lot of kids come by, but one of the things I thought about was with, unfortunately, inflation, the tariffs, cocoa being expensive, I didn't buy any chocolate to give away this year. It actually saved me money. Steak and chicken. When we were looking at ordering something, adding steak was $6, adding chicken was $3. I'm like, this is insane. So there are things that we want to share with you that you may not even think about as you start thinking about the holidays. And God help us for those of us that have relatives that have birthdays during the holidays. But we want to share some great tips, whether it's, hey, it's pick a name out of a bag this year, it'll help save money, or it's coming up with ideas like Melissa that are things you need, things that you'll read, things that you'll enjoy, things that are value, that are used. Nothing's worse than getting someone a gift they put away in a closet and never use, So those practical gifts are valuable, and I'm not saying buy a blender for your wife, okay? That's not what I'm saying, but you know what I mean. Actually, my wife and I, and I'll end here, is we talked about Christmas this year. So instead of buying gifts, why don't we just do a small, overnight trip somewhere and get away for an overnight trip that has, a fireplace, and I'm like, that's a lovely idea. And that'll be our gift to each other, and we'll find some place like that,
Felipe, I love that. And guys, I just saw that Airbnb has bookings that are down exponentially across the board. And while some people might be celebrating that, my first thought was the people who use that as their income. Like during COVID, maybe they did some investment with the money they got. They did it so they would have incoming revenues that kept a second parent at home. If their bookings are down, that second mortgage is heavy. And so being creative. Maybe you know a friend who uses their property for Airbnb. I know there was somebody in Michigan on my network who did that a couple of years ago. That's all she talked about was her cabin in Michigan and how she would rent it out as her income. And so maybe that's why it was front of mind. But think about those ways you can support your friends' businesses. Your friends, rent their house if they do that. Think about getting together and doing like a collaboration gift, like going away. You're going to cook and feed each other anyway, right? You're going to do all of that. But if you did it all together in a cabin that costs you a couple $100 to do, it's equivalent. And you're going to have the memory of stepping outside, seeing a deer Christmas morning. There's so many ways to get creative. I love that so much. And really, it's going to help bolster those people who are trying to still keep their bills paid, right? Look around and see how you can be strategic to get it done, plus help another.
Well, and I love this comment here from Annette that books will take you everywhere, the most inexpensive life trip. I love that. And they do. And it's good for your mental health to forget about things and read. But you struck a nerve. Christy, Chasen, Meryl, Annette all liked the idea of budgeting. So it looks like that will be the topic. And Jason, yeah, the annual board meeting, I just had ours as well. And let's say those are never fun, but thank God we have a board that believes in us and supports our mission, because it's another good year for us that we can move ahead. And it's always nice when the board approves that. And I'm sharing that because a lot of people don't realize that nonprofits out there, sometimes people think, oh, it's just a small nonprofit. Nonprofits put a lot of work to make sure that not only are they doing relevant work, but that they're abiding by tax laws and that they are reporting to a board and being held accountable. And there's a lot that goes into it. So, all right.
And there's a lot that are struggling because of the same reason some of these SNAP recipients and others are struggling right now. And so just be mindful, if some of these places that you're thinking may be helpful may not have it this year, don't give up though. Just know everybody's looking at it. It's a big question mark. But when I have a question, I get the best minds together and we solve for X. And so just do that. All right, Felipe, let's go. How you doing? Are you ready to have a wonderful weekend? What's on? Oh, where did he go? Where did he go? Okay. What are you guys going to do after the show today? I want to know. If you need some help, let us know. And Felipe, there you are. What is your plan the rest of the day?
I'm going to, my wife just made me lunch, which is I'm very excited about. And then we're going to put away the rest of the Halloween decorations. We took most of them down yesterday. And then I'm going to watch the Commanders play some football later tonight. And then I actually took tomorrow off. My voice came back today. If you watched Social Saturday chat yesterday, you would hear that I barely had a voice from all the screaming and growling I did as a wolf. But yeah, other than that, I'm just going to, spend time with the family. And then tomorrow, I'm just going to do some kind of refocusing on some of my goals and plan for the next couple months, because I feel like a lot's happened this past month, and I just need to kind of write things down and refocus. I think I need to document and act, Melissa.
I always recommend that. That's a really good idea.
So why don't you tell us any last thoughts and what you have coming up, and I'm going to show your QR codes for your website and your YouTube channel.
Sweet. Guys, listen, I have been on hiatus. I've been working through some stuff. I'm still kind of going through some stuff. I'm not ready to come back full throttle, but I know this. I know for sure November 15th, I have Annette Gomez on my show as a special guest. We're going to be talking about some fun stuff she'll be rolling out. I can't tell you about yet. I also will be coming back full time for coffee chats after that show. May sneak one in next Saturday, to be determined. I got a lot going on this week, but also for those who have been following, I did just celebrate a memory of life moment for Eric, who worked for me. He passed away on Halloween, motorcycle accident last year. And so that was a day of remembrance for me. Unfortunately, 7 days later on his memorial night, I lost another one of the kiddos to a motorcycle accident right after the event. And so I'm going to be coming up on that. And so that's just a couple of the things I've been dealing with. My dad was in the hospital. My sister got diagnosed with some stuff. And again, that's the short list. So it's been chaotic, but I feel good. I'm in control. My turtle time gave me all of the rest I needed to just hang out in my shell and do what I needed to do. Documented, then acted. Felipe, I was so grateful to maintain the show with you because I knew our people needed it. And I knew a lot of our friends were going to have some other stuff like your social Saturday chats to lean on Saturday, even though I was on hiatus. But I appreciate the support. I appreciate the people who gave me the space to do what I needed to do, who, are going to be on the grand return, and we're going to figure it out. I want to have some special guests. If you need to talk about your brand, whatever, I'm here. I'm not going to do all my shows with guests. I'm just not. I'm still using it for this plan I have in my brain. But I think bringing some of those special guests back are important. I want to highlight Annette. She's, a children's book author too, and we got some stuff coming. And Christmas, Felipe, I want to see a bunch of books in these stockings because truthfully, guys, if I could tell you anything I'm really focused on, it's educating the masses behind me. Because I can't promise the people above me are going to change their mindset. I can't promise that they're going to listen. I can't promise that they want to even hear what I have to say. But I know those kids are listening. And I know the people behind me are intelligent and they're caring. And Mr. Rogers would be proud. And so I'm going to focus my time and energy there. And I think you should too. Find those people who are open and willing instead of fighting the wall. Don't do that, right? And so however I can help you, I want to help. If you feel like you're coming up against a brick wall, give me a message. Tell me what you're fighting. Let's see what we can do. Felipe and I are going to be doing some great shows, but we want to hear from you too. What are other topics you need to cover? Budgeting is a big one, I know. But what else would you like to hear from us? Because I want to focus on that with Felipe. And then also, guys, if you are part of a nonprofit, I know, Chasen, I'm going to be bothering you with this recipe book, but I had shot a screenshot to him, Felipe, that I had locally asked to volunteer with a nonprofit to share recipes and teach them pantry staples and maybe give a short pantry staples list out with creative ways to make rice and beans the same way differently every night. And so I'm looking for opportunities to speak to nonprofits in that way as well. Maybe abuse shelters, women and children, single parents, anybody who's a food stamp recipient trying to figure out how to do it. If you have recipe stuff they gave you at the food bank and you have no idea how to do it and you don't have ChatGPT or don't want to, I want to help those people. And so that's what I'm focusing on. What about you?
Well, Jason, I hope you're still listening. If not, Nick, if you're listening, you can tell Jason. If not, I'll just tell him later. But if I'm curious if you wanted to see if people might want to up their game with their cookbook. Would they be willing to share a video of them cooking? Just want to throw that out there. Oh, did I lose you?
You transitioned to somewhere.
Oh, what is happening with my thing? What the heck? Okay, that's funky. All right, well, at least you can hear me. So I just think that'd be a neat thing. And I if you want to talk about it, let me know. But I do think that.
I mean, again, I think video montages of the video would be great to send for promotional purposes. I think that's a great double dare on top of my dare.
Yeah, I mean, because it definitely adds. It's more work. Yes, I get it. And that's why. But if it's something that I did it with 2 different places now, and it has stood the test of time, and everyone has their unique ways of doing things that usually the recipe just doesn't share. So just food for thought, and I'm happy to help with that if that's something that you all think you'd want to do. But
that would be a cool playlist on your YouTube channel that they should be following, by the way.
Yeah. God, my audio is freaking me out right now. It's really weird. I don't know why.
It's freaking us out too. You went into this really weird, creepy serial killer sound. So, guys, I love this though. Look at all of our friends. I really think as slow as we were to get into it, I really know that 2-hour window is what our friends are used to, and it seems like they show up right when they need to in that 2-hour window. Because look at who just showed up.
Oh, Sajith Kumar. Yes. Wait, how do I sound now?
Like a radio station. I agree with him.
Oh, I still sound bad?
It's good.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, honestly, you sounded very Casey Kasem in the last round.
This is Casey Kasem on. Okay.
Shut
all
up,
right.
Felipe, you know. You don't know who Casey Kasem is?
I know exactly who. I was trying to imitate him. Clearly, I didn't do a good job.
Oh no, I was just thinking I was older than I thought I was, and then
I said this is Casey Kasem, and this is. And I was trying to remember the name of it now. What was the show he did on the radio? Oh God,
The weekend top 40.
40. Yeah. That was it. Top 40. Yeah.
Listen,
All right.
I was a big radio nerd back then, guys. Anyway, Chasen says he loves the idea. They love the dares
Yeah,
too.
exactly. And you know where the samples are of the work I've done, so you can see how I did it, and it worked well. So,
And we're not evil either. So if you guys need help with our idea, our dares, please reach out for support.
no, that's what. Yeah, that's the intention. I'm happy to help, and because I know it's extra work. But so, anyways, thank you all so much for joining this. These are the topics that we really wanted to tackle this season. Topics that matter, topics that make a difference, and topics that will help. And so we hope that you all have found this valuable. Reminder, check out the links in the comments. I'm going to repost the numbers again in there so people can see them at the bottom. But we are definitely going to do a room on budgeting. So come back to learn how to let's proactively budget for the holidays so we can enjoy them better. And America's Top 40. Thank you, Jason. Sorry.
And thank you, Merrill. I love his comment. Are we going to skip over that because you didn't say your name?
What, I didn't see. Why is it not showing up here? Where's Merrill's comment? Oh, we love you too, Melissa. That one.
Yeah, we love you 100%, Melissa. 100%. I got 100% today, Felipe.
Okay,
my gold star.
Okay, I'm glad that you got the gold
star. Thank you.
You made me scroll up for that.
I love the smile on your face too. Can I say that made me smile more? Just the fact that you giggled at me about my star.
I thought there was something profound that Meryl said, because Meryl's known for saying profound things, and that's not so profound. I mean, I love you too, but it's no shocker.
Sajid, you didn't hear Felipe and I, being that we have not actually put our faces into our program because I didn't want to. We have been labeled as a podcast on YouTube by default, doing exactly what we're doing. So Felipe is building there. Felipe, how many YouTube subscribers are you at? I think I'm at 32 right now, guys. Maybe
I think I was at 82, unless some of you have joined me today. But
you're almost at that miracle 100 mark. That's cool.
Well, and talking about impressive ones, Chasen has an amazing following on YouTube that he really has done a lot of work with. That has a great reach. So,
Chasen, I know he engaged on mine. I need to go stalk him. I'm not good at stalking people. Sorry, guys. Like, I wish I had more engagement time, but Turtle is bad. I have to. Yeah, I'm a busy girl.
I know. I pictured you as a really good stalker. I don't know why.
I mean, do I have the capabilities? Yes, I'm a researcher who did background checks for a decade. Don't mess with me. The FBI is upset.
No, you give me stalker vibes. That's what it is.
Ew, that's not kind. Felipe, I could see you creeping through the window long before me, dude. I'm on my porch. Don't come to my porch. You're over there on somebody else's porch.
I'm going to open the front door if I'm going to do that. I'm like, hello.
I really wish I had more time to be a stalker. I really wish. Because when I was growing up, if I heard the woo-woos go outside, I might have peeked. I might have had time to observe and assess back then. But now I just don't. I'm tired and I take naps. I'm a grandma lady.
If you were one of those girls that stalk guys and you were stalking me, I would be worried. I would definitely be. I'd be like, should I get a restraining order? Because I'm scared of her.
Yes, you should. If anybody's stalking you, you should. But at the same time, I think they call them followers now, and I think it's so.
Oh
different.
No!
But truthfully, no. There's a fine line, guys, and I'm joking. But isn't it a little bit weird how there is a Venn diagram effect of stalkers versus followers? Like, you want that person who always claps on your post until they clap on your door with their.
Don't go down this rabbit hole, please, because that's really.
This is the chaos portion of the show. Hello. No, there is a difference. So make sure you're checking, guys. Like, there's a difference.
Yes, there is. All right.
Also, hey, that's his YouTube channel.
I feel like I'm at a family event and my family's saying goodbye, and it's taking like a half hour to say goodbye.
Well, this is a southern goodbye. I'm from Arizona. We're in the south. Also, Jason says you guys ate funny too.
Well,
you are acting 100%.
You're acting like an honorary Latina right now, so let me just tell you. So
thank you. I'm actually almost from Mexico. I grew up right there too.
You're Mexico adjacent, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I am. I have really good bean recipes because you gotta season your water, guys. You can't have sad beans. That's really depressed. Like the beans will soak in the flavor if you put it in the water while they're hydrating.
I'm envisioning a graphic AI image of a sad looking bean that wants something right now. So I think I need to end the show before I get
Wait, Felipe, I have a question. Is this
Another one?
a true? Yes, because I need you to
So
help
many
me, and
questions.
your mom can help.
Oh Lord,
But when
what?
I was growing up or when I was living in Arizona and I was pregnant, I went to sweep my sidewalk because there were stones. The kids had, rock landscaping and they had kicked a bunch of stones up. So I went to sweep and the lady came over and full Spanish was tearing me a new butthole first. Sorry for the language for sweeping while I was pregnant. All she kept doing was like, no, you're not allowed to sweep. And she kept pointing out the baby. Can you explain? I don't understand what that is. Does anybody know what the reasoning is that a pregnant woman shouldn't sweep from Latino culture? Because I don't understand it. I don't know.
Actually,
I
yeah.
was
So
grateful she swept my sidewalk, but I didn't understand why.
I can explain this very well. It's actually a
Okay.
very common thing in multiple cultures. Actually, it goes back, just centuries. It's this thing about she cared about you and didn't want you to get hurt. That's it.
No,
She
no.
wanted you
Yeah,
to
I
sit
wanted
down.
to
You're
see if there was
pregnant.
something else. Okay.
No, I think Latinos, Italians, there's certain cultures that are very like, no, 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 you're pregnant. No, you shouldn't be doing that. And I think they're just a little more motherly in that sense. Nothing against any of the other cultures. I just think that it's like they always feed you. There's cultures that always feed you are very motherly, and they're like, no, 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 sit down. You shouldn't be doing that.
I know. I love them. I want to be part. Can I be assimilated into those cultures? All of them. I want to go to every holiday party.
The
I would
votes.
stay busy all year.
The vote's still out. We're trying to see if we can vote you in. My vote's still undecided. So
Felipe, be nice. You're not very nice. You
I'm
guys
getting
vote him off the
punchy.
island.
I'm
Listen,
getting
if we were on
punchy and
Survivor, you're going to
tired.
get yourself voted off because you're being mean.
All right. Well, I'm going to vote myself off because I'm hungry and I got
Okay.
food that my wife
He's
made and
hangry.
it's getting cold. I am getting hangry.
Oh, yeah.
now.
Sorry, guys. I forgot he said he had lunch. I am so sorry, Felipe. I forgot. Okay. Go have
All
fun,
right.
guys. If you need us, let us know.
All
Budgeting
right.
next time. He'll get the show up whenever he has a chance, but we appreciate you all.
Can I finish saying goodbye? That was all I'm trying to do was say
That was
goodbye.
my end. That was my end. Bye, guys.
All right. So, anyways, there's my YouTube channel. And I hope that you all come back in 2 weeks. I am going to share my Max and Miranda Max book because I'm about to release the Spanish version, and I'm already started writing, or I finished writing, book 2, which is Brady and Lucky, the One-Eyed Cat. And so that'll be coming out soon. So, if you have a chance, I'd love for you to check it out. It really is something that I'm pleased to say people like the story and like the video that comes with it now. So when you buy the video, when you buy the book, there's a video and the QR code in the back that takes you to a YouTube video that only people that have the link from the book can see. So hope you are able to enjoy that. And with that being said, Houston, thank you for a wonderful Sunday. You always make me smile. And other things too, but smile most of the time.
I love how frustrated I make you. It's good.
That's why you're my sister, because only a sister can make me this frustrated.
Well, and also make your wife laugh at you so much, right? Like if your wife was angry, also I would self-check. But if she's giggling at you, just to call myself out, mute yourself so I don't have to hear it. But guys, I got to tell you, I got into the show a little early thinking, yay. I don't see Felipe on the back room in Restream. I don't know if you guys know this, but the host, you just don't see their face the same way as if you're hosting. You see the others in the show. And so I had my headphones in, making sure I was going to get good sound today. I got into the green room and I didn't think about it. I was just running around doing my things. And I messaged Felipe. I'm like, here. And I'm just going, playing some audio, doing my thing. And then I hear my brother start screaming from the headphones, Houston. And I'm like, oh,
mind you, I've been trying to reach her for a good 10 minutes at this point.
10 minutes.
I was already in the green room when she came in. And I'm like, hey, Houston, what's up? And I'm working.
I forgot he had to let me in. So in my brain, I'm there and he's not.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I let her in. And so, and
I forgot.
No, forgot nothing.
Listen, I forgot he had to let me in. I literally thought I was just waiting on him and I didn't have my headphones on and it wasn't turned up loud and I had a few things to do to prep. So I'm just going about my business thinking, hey, when's Felipe going to get here? The whole time he's waiting for me, listening to me breathe, text, type, move.
Oh, no. Right. I hear like this. Like almost like a mouse or something. Like, Houston, if you're there, I can't hear you. I hear something far away. She was clearly walking around somewhere. And then as she gets closer, I can hear her breathing. That's how close she is. So I'm like, is it my audio? Maybe it's I'm like, no, my green light's going. I'm like, Houston, I'm like, Houston, we have an effing problem. And I hear my wife in like 2 rooms away laughing hysterically. And finally, like 5 minutes before the show, she's like, hey, after she sends a text, I'm here. I'm like, no crap, you're here. I know you're here.
That's what I heard. I heard him get it so
right,
incredulously upset at me. And I was like, uh-oh. And then I remembered he's in the headphones. And so anyways, guys, that's the chaos before the show. Now I've kept him from his lunch, but his wife laughs. And so what? She puts you up for this. She loves our show.
Well,
and so does our follower.
And thank you to
bye,
Chase,
guys.
Jason and Nick, thank you for buying my book. I appreciate you two so much. That's awesome. And we'll see you all in 2 weeks. Please make sure that you reach out to those people that might be silently suffering, or even if you don't think they're suffering at all, just check in on them, because some of the strongest people might not let you see it unless you check in on them. All right? Stay safe, and hope that you all remember there's no shame in reaching out. All you got to do is ask for help. Take care, everyone. See you in 2 weeks, and we'll be back for another Careers, Chaos, and Coaching. Houston, take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.
Adios, everyone.
In the morning light, I'm chasing dreams, navigating through the office streams. Deadlines looming, emails piling high, wondering if I'm reaching for the sky or just passing by. The world outside, it's a swirling storm, chaos in the streets, a daily norm. But inside my mind, I'm seeking peace, a way to balance, a moment to seize. Careers, chaos, and coaching too. Finding the path, what else can we do? Observing closely, learning as we go. Making decisions, let our wisdom show. Through the storms and the calm, we'll find our way. With every challenge, we'll learn to say, we've got the strength, we've got the grace to face the world and find our place. Upon meetings, voices in my head, strategies and plans, where do they lead instead? I take a breath, step back to see the bigger picture, what's meant to be. Coaching sessions, a guiding light, helping me focus, setting things right. With every word, a new perspective gained. In the game of life, it's not about the pain. Careers, chaos, and coaching too. Finding the path, what else can we do? Observing closely, learning as we go. Making decisions, let our wisdom show. Through the storms and the calm, we'll find our way. With every challenge, we'll learn to say, we've got the strength, we've got the grace to face the world and find our place. Quiet moments, I find my voice. In the chaos, I make my choice to lead with kindness, to act with care, to be the change, to show I'm aware. Careers, chaos, and coaching too. Finding the path, what else can we do? Observing closely, learning as we go. Making decisions, let our wisdom show. Through the storms and the calm, we'll find our way. With every challenge, we'll learn to say, we've got the strength, we've got the grace to face the world.